Hello, I am Ludovico Fassati. I lead the Vodafone IoT team for the Americas. I want to thank RFID Journal for inviting me to this webinar and talk about smart manufacturing. So we think the transformation of manufacturing using IoT is really an important topic these days. First of all, because of the pandemic that we're going through right now, that is accelerating a lot of the changes that are happening in the world. But this was already live before. So I'd like us to just take a few minutes to go through what we've been doing with some of our customers. But I think this is, again, very important these days because the changes are happening faster than ever. So let me start around the connectivity part. So Vodafone, we are a telecom operator, and it's important that we see how the request and the demand for change drove our change. So we implemented new technologies to fit the requirement and the demand of a changing world. So in IoT, we start with 2G and 3G basic internet access. You can think of a tracking device or a TomTom or a Kindle, very basic connectivity, and then we evolve it into 4G. That's when it started to have a need of lower latency and also bigger data to be sent, in particular video. So the cameras and all of those and connected cars. That's when it really started to drive 4G. And now we are, of course, running into 5G, where it's even more need of lower latency, more video to be sent out. Imagine an autonomous car or a connected factory. That's more or less what we're going to talk about today. On top of this is on pure cellular connectivity. Then we developed some other features. One is Moba private network. That is confined networks for defined sites and very secure and private for our customers. And also we developed narrowband IoT and LTE-M that are part of what's called LPWA, that is low power wide area networks. And those networks are have three characteristics that are very important. They are cheap, they are for things that send very low amount of data. So they protect the battery usage of the device. They have a very high penetration into buildings or into, even under the water. So if you need to monitor things that are in difficult areas of the world, that has a high penetration. So it's cheaper, it has high penetration, and it preserves the battery consumption. So now let's go a second into what's Vodafone IoT. We are 1,400 colleagues in IoT. We have 100 million connections around the globe. We're growing roughly 2 million a month. And we are considered to be #1, the market leader by most of the analysts out there. We do 165 billion transactions a year, and we are present in 193 countries across more than 500 networks. So we have many networks in many countries so that we can offer the best coverage wherever we go. And we grow very fast. We have 85% growth in data usage on our platform. So this is us, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about us. Let's go into the manufacturing. So why is manufacturing important for us and how manufacturing is changing? So again, let me start by what I was saying at the beginning. A change in manufacturing and Industry 4.0 and the factories of the future was happening already since, I would say, probably the last 10 years. But lately with COVID and with all of the changes in the world, we see a terrific acceleration of these trends. So let me go through the 5 key characteristics of what we think needs to be a factory of the future. So first of all, it's a connected factory. So connected factory, we think, of course, it needs to be connected because connectivity enables a lot of the other things that are on this slide. If you have a connected factory, that then means that it's a factory that can be proactive, it will be more transparent, it can be more agile and optimize your flows, so your production line. So all of this is really, we think at the heart of all this is the connectivity. So having all the items connected, the workers with connected tools, and then even getting into a connected product that you sell. That would be the ideal situation. I'll show this maybe later on the next slide. So connectivity, we think, is at the heart of everything. The second characteristic is proactive. So we think that these days, with a lot of changes in the world, we need to be ready to proactively deal with our manufacturing site and our factories out there. So it is really important to have a proactive factory. And proactive drives, in my view, drives agile, because you have a proactive factory, the factory needs to adapt to what's happening in the outdoor and inside of the factory, in the market and so on. And that means that you need an agile factory. On top of this, to get those three key components, to have that, you need a factory that needs to be transparent. So you need to have access to all information and in real time, so you can take the right decision immediately. So you need to have full visibility of what's going on in the factory at any given time during the day. And then last, it needs to be optimized. As I said, all sectors are very competitive. Price is important, efficiency is important. More and more these days, you need to have an optimized process, and using technology to optimize your process through analytics so data analytics, that is a key component. And to get that, you need connected tools to give you the transparency and take the right decision to operate. So that's what we see are the 5 key characteristics of the factory of the future. Moving on, so as I was saying at the beginning, so there are 3 key parts that are important in a Industry 4.0. One is the factory needs to be smart and connected, and we saw the 5 key characteristics of it. The second one is, we think, is that the workers in the factory, of course, they need to be smart, but that's a given. But on top of that, they need to be enabled with the right tools to be part of a smart factory. So they need the right devices, the right wearables, whatever it is, to be in harmony with the factory and don't be the blocking point, or not playing the same harmony of a new factory that is moving at an incredible pace. The last thing is what we call smart manufacturing business. Basically what it is, that what needs to be for a new factory of the future is to make sure that it's managed in a smart way and in a agile way. So the decision that needs to be taken needs to be smart and quick and flexible. On top of this, the product that are the outcome of the factors, we see more and more, needs to be connected. So having access to your products once they leave the factory, again, a good example is a connected car, right? Having access to a car once you left the factory can help you to run some updates over the air and also drive some predictive maintenance and so on. So it's really important. These are the 3 key components that we see. Let's drive just a couple of examples of the key projects we see lately and where we are involved in a connected factory. So I just take a couple of these, and the slides will be shared, I'm sure. The first one is telematics. So we have a growing business there. We are involved in a lot of telematic projects where we monitor trucks and the logistic processes of the fleet process, yes, of a lot of factories out there. So the in and out and the value chain, the logistic chain of a lot of our customers, we are involved there, and we provide end-to-end solutions from the device to the analytics and the platform to monitor all that. And then we think that is a key component to monitor that. So the in and out from the factory needs to be fully automated and monitored with transparency and agility. Second one I would like to mention is the robotics and wearables. I put that together because the reality is that they need to be in full harmony. People working in a factory needs to be in full harmony with machines and robots that are working in the same factory. So this, we are involved more and more into connecting all these devices, helping decision maker and production VPs, so head of the factory, to decide, take the right decisions on making sure things move accordingly. So these are a couple. Of course, then all of this, we provide the connectivity base for it, indoor, outdoor, make sure that the data flows when devices or machines are within the factory and when they're out of the factory, products the same. All of this trying to protect the safety and the security of the factory and the data protection that is also always very important. Now, let's go in. I've just picked 3 quick examples for us to go through. The first one is vitaCommand. So vitaCommand is a technology company that offers solution for building monitor, property monitor. They monitor roughly 3,000 buildings across the US. It's a recent partner of ours. We think they're doing a great job, and they really offer a great solution out there to try to optimize the way buildings are monitored and managed. So they do this since many years, and they have great success stories, and we are glad to be their partner there. They are trying to, first of all, find the right savings and predictive maintenance of the building. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in a building, like leakages and stuff like that. So they do that. They have great solutions that are working very well, and we are great. We are happy to be their partner, as I said before, and they are expanding all across the US, and we're part of this solution in a secure and safe way with our connectivity. The next one I'd like to mention is Ego. Ego is a German car manufacturer. It's a brand new car manufacturer, electric car manufacturer. They have the ambition of selling 30,000 cars next year. So they built up a new factory, a very modern factory. It's the first 5G factory we've built. We made some announcements around. It is a factory, it's fully automated, fully connected. We have a Moba private network in it, and it's really a state-of-the-art with the most recent technology out there. And they can track all of the production, all of the steps of the production are tracked, and this gives them a lot of flexibility. So this is, I think, a great example that we are very proud to be part of. And here we have exactly what we've delivered into this new factory that Ego launched. So we have Moba private network, all the 5G, as I said, we have launched the first 5G ready in 2019. We have a 5G upgrade now coming in 2020. And this is a great example of what we can do, where you meet connectivity together with artificial intelligence and the best of German manufacturing put together into a factory of the future. So this is a great example where we've been part of. The last one I'd like to mention is Campo Frio. Campo Frio is a Spanish company that manufactures food, in particular like meat, ham. I'm sure there's delicious stuff coming from Spain. Unfortunately, they had an accident in 2014 where the factory burned down, and they decided to rebuild the factory as a very, very modern factory, where we've been the partner of Campo Frio to rebuild this factory with the latest technologies out there. It was a great work from our Spanish colleagues together with the customer to build what is today one of the most advanced factories in terms of efficiency, but also respecting the environment and so the environment, so pollution, energy saving, and so on. So I think it's a great example for us. So these were the 3 examples I had. I'd like to mention the fact that, as I said, that I wish I had an example, but I cannot share. I wasn't able to share the fact that we had also factories that are already existing that made the upgrade. So it's easier, of course, to create a new factory from scratch. So unfortunately, you had a fire or you're launching a new product, a new car. It's easier to create a new factory from scratch. The problem is when you have an existing factory, how do you transform it into a new future-proof manufacturing site? And we think we have a lot of expertise there, but there are many players out there. It's really important to take that decision process from the top. There are a lot of, you're going to face a lot of challenges to go through, and the benefit that you're going to get are vital for the future of the company that you drive. So this was, in a nutshell, what I wanted to present, and I'm open for questions right now because I ran out of time. So, but that's I'm good. I'm open for questions right now. So thank you very much.